On to something a little more important. Just had my daylight savings time rant. I'm going to tell you about college. You thinking about going to college? If you're in college, why are you in college? I want to tell you the story about college in America and universities. There was a time where not everybody went to college. I know not everybody does now, but everybody says you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college. And a lot of people just go to college because everybody told them they need to go to college. And, well, it's just the next thing you do after high school. I mean, you're done with junior high or middle school now, and you go to high school. And then when you're done with high school, you just go to college. That's the next thing you do. And they go to college, and they don't even know why. There was a time when people went to college for a reason. All right? You got a job skill. You became a professional. All right? This was way back in pre-World War II time. And then something happened. Things changed. World War II happened and the baby boom generation came along and everybody said, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. Go to college. So they did. Most people didn't even know why. You know, I'll give you an example how colleges have changed. It was never a traditional thing to have a college degree to get a commission in the military. In most countries, I don't even think I can name one. Is it required to have a college degree to get a commission? That's a fairly new thing because college degrees became so prevalent. It was just one of those things like, well, check this block just because we want to make sure you really want it. Now, granted, there was always ROTC programs, and in the military academies, you always got a four-year degree. But it was never like this requirement. You've got to have a college degree if you're going to get a commission in the military. That's a fairly new and American thing. What happened was, about 10-15% of people pre-World War II actually went to college. When they went to college, they got a degree that was worth something. It was worth a job skill. It was marketable on the outside. Business, engineering, doctors, lawyers, those are the people who went to college. Not everybody needed to go to college. All right? They worked construction. They were welders. They were plumbers, carpenters, that sort of thing. They were tradesmen. That didn't mean they were stupid, that they were just tradesmen. They had unique trades. Then this Depression thing happened. 1930s, Great Depression, and a lot of people were out of work. But the people one group of people, one demographic that was kind of insulated from all that pain. And granted, they may not have been making it as good as they had in the past, but at least they were somewhat insulated from the pain of the Depression as people who had college degrees. Well, the reason they were insulated because they had a high skill level from those 4 years in a university. And then you got all these people, the tradespeople, construction people, that type, blue-collar types, going down to the docks, going down to wherever, and there's 100 guys out there, and some foreman says, I need 5. And that's today. Maybe tomorrow I might need another 5. Maybe not. So, the kids who grew up in the 30s, they experienced that. Then they got to go fight World War II. This is the greatest generation. They grew up in the 30s in the Great Depression, then they had to go fight World War II. Guess who it was one demographic who didn't have to go? Those were people who were in college. They had deferments. There was a lot fewer of them then. And society, the government said, there's a small group of people, they're going to be better off with that college degree. We don't need them very much. Like farmers got the deferments for the draft because we need food too. We need you to work on the farm. A lot of people dropped out of college and joined the military to go fight. It's just one of those things. But that greatest generation, they had kids of their own, the baby boomers. So with that experience of the Great Depression and World War II, they told their kids, you have got to go to college because if there's ever another Great Depression, you will be insulated from that. And if there's ever another war, Vietnam, you won't have to go. It'll be your option. Go to college, go to college, go to college. So that baby boom generation grew up in the 60s. They went to college. Then Vietnam did happen, and people had a real big incentive to not get drafted because that one wasn't as popular. And it just continued from there. And guess what? Where there's a demand, there will be a supply. You know, these big universities, you know, University of Florida, Florida State University, Alabama, Auburn, University of South Carolina, Texas A&M, these huge, big universities. They really weren't that big. They're the old ones that had been around for a long, long time. They weren't that big, but their student bodies exploded. Smaller colleges sprang up, community colleges. Back before World War II, there wasn't the thing as community college and night school, and you didn't go part-time. You didn't graduate from high school and say, I'm going to take a year or two off and find myself and then decide to go back to college. You either went to college, you went to the university, straight out of high school, full-time, or you didn't go. And that's the way it is in a lot of other countries now. It's still that way. Now, we put this emphasis on college education. And why? Most people don't need it. Most people aren't using it. I'm talking to somebody who has gone to college and got a college degree. So, now there's all these worthless degrees. It's gotten even worse now. You got the feminization of it. Hey, you're getting a degree in feminist studies or gender studies or multicultural studies. I mean, it's not even like Greek poetry or, you know, Latin philosophy. I guess the Greeks were probably more philosophy. Greek philosophy and Latin poetry. It's not even that. Not even that those were really great, but I mean, we're talking even more worthless than those. And people go to college, incur $80,000 a day, if not, you know, six-figure debt, thinking that they're going to get an $80,000 a year job, walk into an interview, and the guy says, well, how does this basket weaving degree help me make money at my company? You're going to go to college, get a good degree. Get a degree that you're going to use. All right? Engineering, business. Business degrees not hard to get. In fact, the engineer degrees call engineering pre-business. Engineering tends to be a little bit harder, and then people wash out and they go over to business. But at least it's a job skill. At least it's not something asinine. If you're going to go to college, go there with a reason. Don't just go there to go there because everybody goes there and it's 4 years away from the family without any real responsibility, so you can go out there and drink and party. That didn't happen back in the days. I'm sure college kids still had fun back in the 20s. You know, so, but they didn't go there specifically to go find themselves and be away from the family and parental controls and go party it up. That's not why they went. They didn't go with that in mind. They went there knowing that they've got to study, they've got to pass the grade to get that degree, to go on and become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is they were going to go do. So if you're going to go to college, make it worth something. I hear all these people saying, well, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to start taking college classes. The military pushes it. You know, it's another thing to get you promotion points. And they push, and the guys sit there and they like, well, yeah, I'm going to take these college classes. And they don't even know why. Well, the military's pushing it. You're going to get some promotion points. You know, you look good on your records brief when you go up for promotion. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this? And another thing that happened is they pushed all the blue-collar workers. Now they talk about jobs Americans won't do anymore. Well, I'd argue that. You just got to pay them more. But that's another thing. Pushed all these people. You don't want to have to. You want to work smarter, not harder. You want to go to college and that's good. Work smarter and harder. Right. Nothing wrong with trade skills. Nothing wrong with truck drivers, telephone linemen, carpenters, welders, plumbers, general construction workers. Nothing wrong with that. But they said, no, that's not the kind of work you want to do. You want to be more advanced white collar. Well, that don't just happen. So they push them away, and now with liberals controlling the education system, particularly universities, they're not getting an education, they're getting an indoctrination. Don't just get an education. Educations are great. Don't just get an education. Get a job skill. If you're going to go to college, do something that's going to help you make money. Do something that's marketable. Don't just get an education. Get a job skill. Don't go there and get indoctrinated. Coming out, you get slapped in the face. You come out, you think the world works one way, and it does not. You come out with your participation trophy degree. Your degree, don't let your degree, if you're going to get one, don't let it just be a participation trophy. That's how you get people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cerebral Cortex. She got a participation trophy. She got supposedly a degree in economics and doesn't know the first thing or the half of the first thing about economics. She got a participation trophy. She's the one who's still stuck back in that mentality of maybe even high school, not even college. No idea how the real world works, but she thinks she does. And it's dangerous. So, people, boys and girls, if you're in college, you're thinking about going to college, go there with some purpose. All right.